Thank you all for joining me. Tom, we'll start with you. This a film about 6 key moments in a relationship. What are some of those moments that you take viewers into?
Yeah, so the film is 6 scenes told in a non-linear way, and it kind of spans from the first time that they meet to maybe the last time that they are together. That's debatable. And I don't want to really describe too much about what the scenes are, but I'll tell you about what the scenes do. The romantic drama is, in many ways, like quite a well-trodden path, so I really wanted to look at it from an original angle and how to tell this story, and I decided to make something that was experiential rather than necessarily kind of a linear story with your midpoint turns and your traditional structure. And so there's 6 moments that define this relationship, and it's kind of designed and built like memory, the structure of the film, in that I think that when we reflect back on our relationships, we don't think in a linear way. We tend to kind of take moments and put them together, and we use those moments to juxtapose, the juxtaposition of those moments to kind of form our emotional landscape, and that's kind of what the film is.
I think that's so true. And for anyone that's seen the trailer, Jay and Tatiana, they know that the relationship is between you two, and some very, very intimate moments, at least in the trailer, in the film as well. And so, Jay, how did you build that rapport with Tatiana so that you could get to those intimate scenes?
I required Tom and Tatiana to break up, and then I would start dating her. So we had an actual relationship, and I think it was worth it. No, Tom initiated this really safe, intimate rehearsal space for us where we basically created scenes and created moments. We improvised a lot and built an entire backstory, built memories for ourselves. And I mean, I think it's also partly casting and us. I mean, I had known these guys a little bit before and loved their work and just felt connected to them in a way that just felt natural. I mean, I had a friend recently ask me, was it weird to kiss Tatiana in front of Tom? And I was like, no, it weirdly wasn't weird. It really wasn't weird to have Tom direct me kissing Tatiana. I mean,
Maybe
it's
not
like
for you, Jay. I don't know.
It was so weirdly normal.
Yeah, I think
It was normal for you too, Tatiana?
it was. I mean, I think initially I was afraid of what that was gonna be like, especially in some of the scenes where Tom is like also kind of directing within the scene. Some of the takes would sort of evolve as Tom gave different direction from off camera. But I think because we had that rehearsal time too, we really could create a sense of privacy, and Tom built this space that's so safe and so without judgment. In all of the process of making this film, he worked with a lot of non-actors as well, and that lack of judgment, I think, permeates into the process and makes everybody feel very safe, and not like it's my boyfriend being like, kiss that other guy. Kiss him like that.
Wait, so was it awkward for you? Now every single person has to weigh in here. Was it awkward for you, Tom?
Well, every single job I've done as an actor, every single job, I've had a sex scene. So it's like, I don't know what that is, but it's kind of part of the job, and you just kind of get used to it. It's just acting, it's not real, and so it wasn't weird at all. It was just, we built these characters, and these characters have been in my head for quite a long time, and so in no way was I ever mixing that across. I just saw Jenna and Leon, and these two are such superb actors who inhabited these two characters so fully. Yeah, it didn't even cross my mind.
So an actor, obviously in your own right, but your first time at filmmaking, what was that like for you?
Yeah, I mean, it was the thrill of my life, if I'm honest. It's something I've always wanted to do, and it's a great, huge ambition of mine, and it was it's scary to do things that you really want to do, because what happens if it doesn't work, or you don't like it, or you're not as good as you hope you would be. But I just really enjoyed it, and I had a really good time, and I've got a lot to learn. But it was a thrill, and I really can't wait to do it again.
Tatiana, for you, what was the most emotional scene that you had?
God, they all were for different reasons. I mean, I think there's certain ones that have like a massive explosion where you know, the honesty is so massive, like there's nothing being held back anymore. But I think also even navigating the scenes where there's something brewing underneath and Jenna and Leon are skirting over top of it with humor or with distraction or with not actually what they want to say to each other, that sometimes is actually more emotional. You know what I mean? Because you can't go the whole way. You can't just like puke necessarily. You have to kind of hold certain things back and kind of navigate it as I think we all do every day of our lives in relationships, where you try to be a good person, but secretly you're an We're all doing that, right?
Jay, were there any scenes for you that were particularly challenging, like locking into that very emotional element?
No, I'm just so good at acting that it's just like
You can
falls
do it.
off the truck, bro. I think like the scariest thing is I think we shot the last scene first. Did we?
No. We shot it
Third. It was very early that we shot the last
on
scene.
the second day.
So that was a little just intellectually it was scary to know that we were going to do that, and that the whole movie kind of rests on whether that works or not. And we did a lot of jumping in time, and there was a lot of beard shaving, so there was no going back. But honestly, once we got to the day and we were doing it, I don't know, it just felt like it was going to happen, and it was because it had been built, and you know, there was a connection. I mean, we were talking about, I mean, the truth is there wasn't a huge wall between behind the camera, in front of the camera. I felt like Tom was with us the whole time, and I felt like also he empowered us and trusted us so much to drive the scenes and also drive the cinema. I mean, it felt like it was very connected and a fluid thing, so it didn't, I just felt like we were always in it together and we would find it.
All right, well, people can definitely feel the raw emotion and the intimacies just through the trailer alone, and I'm excited for everyone else to see it. Thank you all
Thank
for
you.
joining me.
Thank you so much.